Lila was 65 years old when she finally understood something that most people spend their whole lives trying to learn. She realized that the heart can break 1,000 times, yet still rise again. She lived alone in a small wooden house on the edge of a quiet American town where the evenings were cold and the mornings came with a soft fog covering the streets, like an old memory waiting to be touched. Every sunrise, she sat on her porch with a warm cup of tea, holding it like it was the last gentle thing left in her world. Life had been heavy on her shoulders. She had survived betrayal, loneliness, sickness, and the silent storms that come when no one is watching. Her children had grown up and moved far away. Her husband had passed 10 years ago, and the empty chair beside her always reminded her of promises time could not keep. Lila, however, did not give up. She was made of the kind of strength that grows in people who have been tested again and again. She had wrinkles on her face like lines of poetry written by the years, yet her eyes still carried a softness that made strangers feel safe around her. Every day, she whispered to herself that she would not let darkness win. On a cold evening, she took out an old box from her cupboard. Inside it were letters, photographs, dried flowers, and small things that once meant everything. She touched each item with trembling hands, remembering the days when life felt warm and familiar. One photo showed her as a young mother smiling with hope. Another showed her holding her husband's hand under a golden sunset. She felt pain rise in her chest like a wave, but she let it come. She let herself feel. That night, she lit a single candle in her living room and sat on the floor. The flame danced gently in front of her. She closed her eyes and whispered to herself that it was time to face her past, time to forgive, and time to breathe again. She remembered all the moments she had tried to be strong for others, even when her own heart was falling apart. She remembered all the nights she cried silently so no one would worry. She remembered the love she had given selflessly even when no one returned it. Suddenly, tears slipped down her cheeks. She did not wipe them away. She let them fall like rain on a dry desert. Her voice broke slightly as she whispered that she had done her best. She had lived, she had loved, she had tried. She began speaking to the candle as if her entire life could hear her. She said that she forgave everyone who hurt her. She forgave herself for every mistake. She forgave time for taking so much from her. In that moment, something inside her shifted. It was small but real, like a closed door finally opening, like a frozen river finally melting. She felt lighter. She felt free. The next morning, Lila stood outside her home, breathing in the chilly air as if she were tasting life for the first time. Birds were singing, people were walking, and the world felt new. She smiled gently because she knew that though she was 65, this was not the end. This was a new beginning. She walked to the community center, a place she had avoided for years. Inside, she saw women of all ages learning, sewing, cooking, and storytelling. One woman smiled and invited her, and Lila hesitated, but stepped forward slowly, her heart beating with fear and hope at the same time. She sat with them, shared her name, and listened to their stories. They laughed, they cried, and Lila found herself speaking again, her voice soft but steady. She shared moments from her life, not to impress, but to connect. Over the next weeks, Lila became a source of comfort for many younger women. They would come to her with their worries, and she would listen, offering gentle wisdom gained from a lifetime of surviving heartbreak. She told them that strength was not about being unbreakable, but about learning to rise every time life pushed them down. She told them that pain shapes the soul, and that every scar was proof of survival. One young woman named Emily came to her carrying the weight of a broken heart. She felt lost, abandoned, and unwanted. Lila held her hands, looked into her eyes, and said that she once felt the same. She told Emily that the heart heals slowly, but surely. She told her that hope may fade, but it never dies. She told her that the same God who brings night also brings morning with light and warmth. Emily came every day, and soon she began to heal. Lila felt something warm grow in her own chest, a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. She realized she had gifts to offer: compassion, wisdom, presence, and these gifts touched the hearts of everyone around her. As months passed, Lila transformed the quiet community center into a place of healing. Women wrote stories, painted memories, cooked warm meals, and shared their pain and joy. Lila became the soul of the place. Her age did not limit her, it crowned her with grace. One evening, the women surprised her with a small celebration. They lit candles, decorated the room, and placed a chair for Lila in the center. Emily spoke first, saying that Lila had saved her life. Others followed, each sharing how Lila had inspired them, touched them, guided them, supported them. Lila listened with shaking hands, unable to believe the impact she had made unknowingly. Tears filled her eyes again, but these were not tears of pain. They were tears of gratitude. For the first time in many years, she felt seen, she felt loved, she felt alive. She stood slowly and told them that they had given her a new life. She told them that one candle can light 1,000 more without losing its own light. She told them that when hearts come together, they heal each other. Her voice trembled as she said that she once believed her story was over, but now she understood that life writes new pages even when we think the book has ended. She said that she was thankful to have lived long enough to see that healing is possible no matter the age. That night, Lila walked home under a sky full of stars. She felt no loneliness. Instead, she felt surrounded by all the souls she had touched, and all the love she had given. Her heart felt lighter than it had in decades. She knew that the light she carried would continue to shine in the lives of others long after she was gone. And so, at 65, Lila discovered the truth that every soul eventually learns the truth that life is not about how many years we live, but how much love we sow in those years. She became a beacon of hope, a warm voice, a guiding hand, a living reminder that it is never too late to rewrite your story. Her past no longer frightened her. Her future no longer worried her. She walked with grace, with peace, with a heart that had risen again. I hope my story touched your heart. For more inspiring and heartfelt stories, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.